Hi, hello everyone. Sorry, I'm getting notifications right as this is starting. Hello, it is Tuesday, I believe. Happy Tuesday. I am really excited, but also really hesitant coming right now to you guys because the thing that we're going to talk about tonight is really a part of my journey and a part of my healing that I haven't shared publicly about yet. But I'm excited to do that today because before I get started, I do want to just take a moment and I need to just share this across a couple platforms. I want to make sure that this gets put out right away into my manifesting group because I promised them this live, and that's the main reason why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for my group. But I want to share it here so it can be shared across the board because I really do feel like this is something that a lot of us have a lot of trouble addressing. But if we can bring it to the forefront and we can look it in the face and we can call it what it is, we can then start to rewrite a part of our story that is so deeply ingrained within us. So the thing that I want to talk about today, the reason why I wanted to get on here and talk about these emotional wounds that are passed down from our parents to us, and they become core wounds that stay inside of our soul, inside of our heart, and they literally play a narrative in every part of our life. So right now, I am currently going through this amazing course by Bob Proctor, the Paradigm Shift. It's a virtual event that I'm catching the replay on, and I'm going through the course. And my AC just kicked on in the back, so if you hear that, I'm sorry. I'll try to talk a little bit louder. But I've been in this course for a total of 1 day, and the things that I have already unburdened from my soul have been paramount. I had such a breakthrough last night. I sat on my couch for about 2 hours and I spoke with my mentor and I spoke with a very close friend, and I worked through and I processed through the thoughts that I was having. And it led me to this amazing breakthrough. And I want to share that breakthrough with you guys because there are some of you out there right now who are stuck. You are stuck in the same cycle. You are stuck in this same cycle of thinking, of behavior, and it is slowly killing you. You are slowly dying because you're not progressing forward. You're staying stuck right where you are. And you're staying stuck no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you push forward. You just can't break through that barrier. And I'm telling you right now that for some of you, that barrier is so buried deep within the core of your soul that we need to address it. We need to find it. You need to get in there and find out what your core wound is. Where did your core wound come from? And how is it playing a part in your life? You know, I've been on this journey now for about a year, a good solid year. I've been on this journey of personal growth, and it came through my network marketing business. Oddly enough, my mentor opened my mind so much, and I started learning and devouring all this knowledge that she had to give me, and it led me every step of the way down my journey. But no matter what, no matter how successful I became, no matter how much I grew, there was something inside of me that constantly nagged at me. And it always told me, you're not enough. Who do you think you are? You can't do this. Back up, sister. Slow down. And what did I do? I slowed down every time. I succumbed to that subconscious thinking. I succumbed to that sick belief that somebody else implanted in my head so long ago. And it comes from this core wound that I have, and I can name it. My core wound is abandonment. Abandonment. The fear of abandonment has ran my life for so long. It has played out in every area of my life. Every area. There's not one area that I can think of that it didn't play a part in sabotaging. Where did this abandonment wound come from? How did it get stuck so deeply inside my core that it literally affects everything I do? No matter what, no matter how hard I try, no matter how good I am at something, no matter how much I grow, no matter how much I learn, I'm always knocked back down by this core wound that I can never seem to address. I can never seem to break through it. And last night on day 1 of this program, and let me tell you something too, this program that I'm doing right now, I don't promote this program. I make nothing off this program by giving it to you, but somebody shared it with me for free, and it's helping change my life. And if you want it, the replay is still available for 38 days. Drop a comment below and just write paradigm shift, or say you're ready to shift. I don't care, write something. And I will send you the link so you can check out this virtual event. You can download this book for yourself, and you can start to make the changes in your life. Okay, now some of you might be sitting here going, Brianne, all right, girlfriend, this all sounds awesome, but like, what the heck is a paradigm? All right, so I'm going to read it straight from here from Bob Proctor himself, because he's like the master at all this personal growth stuff, right? He's one of the best. So a paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior, and almost all of our behavior is habitual. Now, listen, a paradigm can be everything from a core belief, it could be your financial beliefs, it can be your beliefs about relationships, your beliefs about society. It could literally be your fear of dogs. That could be a paradigm in your head that somebody implanted in you that you need to change. I'm not talking about those little things right now. We talk about those little things all the time. We talk all the time about how to change the little things in your life. I want to talk about addressing the major pain, the major hurt inside your life, inside your heart, that is literally sabotaging your life, probably on a daily basis. So I also like to give you guys a lot of facts. So one fact that I want to bring you on this live, if you don't know about epigenetic research, it's a really fascinating field of study, and something really interesting that I found when I got the inspiration for this live last night. I had heard it before, but I wanted to just confirm it, that it was a fact before I brought it to you guys. And it is like scientifically research proven in the epigenetic field of research that psychological trauma is passed down in genetic material. So psychological trauma literally has the capability of changing the cellular makeup within our body. And it is passed down in DNA material for up to 14 generations. You could be holding onto a wound, literally that was built into your DNA from somebody generations before you. Like, that's not bullshit. Go look it up. I'm sorry I cursed. That's a real thing. Ancestral trauma is a real thing. And I don't know enough about that to deliver a study on that topic, but I will learn more, and I want to learn more. So if you're somebody on my page or in my manifesting group, or even in one of these groups that I'm getting more notifications. Even in one of these groups that I share my videos in, if you're somebody who knows something about ancestral trauma and you have studied in that field, please reach out to me, because I always believe that there's always room for knowledge and growth. So if I can open myself up to gaining knowledge firsthand from somebody one-on-one and be mentored one-on-one by somebody, that is what I look to do. So if you are good in that field, please reach out to me, because that is my next step. But the thing that I want to talk about today is the emotional wounds that are passed down to you from your parents. Now, there's going to be some times during this conversation where I'm going to be vague. I'm going to share a lot of my personal journey, a lot of the abuse that happened in my childhood, and how that literally framed my belief system, and how it sabotaged my life every step of the way, and how I'm changing that. But I'm going to have to be vague at some points. There's going to be points where I'm not going to pinpoint who it was or exactly what happened. And that's just because there are other people involved in this story. Even though 90% of my family is blocked on my Facebook for what you'll see as obvious reasons, I still am respectful of other people. So I want to just, if somebody's like, oh, like, why didn't you talk more about that? There's a reason why I'm not indulging in certain things. So the first thing I want to go over with you guys is, what are some of the core parental wounds that are passed on from a parent to a child? So the one that I already mentioned, my main core wound is abandonment. Abandonment is a huge one for most people. And with abandonment comes the idea of neglect, there's rejection, there's feeling unloved, there's feeling unworthy. Then there's the core emotional wound of betrayal. And then we also have childhood abuse. And that could be anything from physical, mental, emotional, sexual. I mean, we all know the different kinds of childhood abuse. I was getting a phone call. They're probably going to call me back 1,000 times because I declined their call. Ugh, we're just going to ignore that right now. So anyway, but we can all pretty much imagine the kind of core wound that abuse can leave on someone. And the truth is unfortunately, if you're a child who has the abandonment wound, you have the rejection wound, you have the betrayal wound, there's a really good chance you're gonna have that abuse wound as well. They just tend to go hand in hand, unfortunately. There's no words for it. You know what I mean? But the thing that I also want to point out here is that I believe heavily in manifestation. I believe heavily in the laws of the universe. And when you start to heal that larger wound inside of yourself, you are literally opening your soul up to the universe. You're saying, I trust you. I trust you with my healing, and I'm ready to be healed and to let go so I can become in alignment with my higher self, with who I'm meant to be. So as you start this healing process and you heal, oh yeah, I'm getting a text for not answering my phone. But as you start this healing process, you will begin to feel yourself get more into alignment with the universe. You'll begin to realize that you're able to manifest things easier because you remove this block. I want you to think of this core wound as not only something that sabotages your life on a daily basis, but it's something that literally blocks you from everything good that you want. Everything good that you truly want is being blocked in some way or another by this core emotional wound that you have. So our parents are probably the most pivotal players in our lives from the age of birth to 5 years old. Really, the subconscious brain is most formed between birth and 7. So that's really when a lot of these paradigms and these beliefs are imprinted into us. But from birth to 5 years old until you start school, really your parents are the main players. They are where you are getting all of your knowledge from. They're where you're getting all of your information from. Now, yes, a lot of people have great loving parents, and I try my best to be an amazing, loving parent. But I'm sure there are definitely some wounds that I've passed on to Avery because I'm hurt. I have wounds that I haven't fully healed yet, and we're not perfect people. We all pass something along to our children that we wish we didn't give them. You know what I mean? And that's something I want to tell you too, like forgive yourself. If you're listening to this at any point and you say, wow, I've been projecting this onto my child, slow down and forgive yourself. Take a moment and get into a space of forgiveness with yourself and just be grateful for the awareness. Be grateful that you now have this awareness about you, and be mindful about making the changes to move forward. So I don't want anybody to listen to this and first of all, there's no pity party. I don't want anybody to listen to this and be like, wow, my parents did that to me. Wow, my parents did worse. Like, there's no pity party. You should never tell your story to make yourself a victim. You should only tell your story if you're looking to help others grow. That's the only time you should be telling your story. Okay? You should not be out there trying to create victims. You should not be out there trying to, commence a pity party. You should be out there helping people to grow by sharing your journey, but you don't do it till you're ready. I've been working on this healing now for a while, and I haven't been ready to share this part of it because if I would have done this video earlier, I would have said a lot of things out of anger. And I would have said a lot of things out of hurt because I wasn't healed yet. And I'm not fully healed yet. And that's why there are certain things that I will not go into in this video. There are certain things that when I heal that part of myself, I'll come back on here and I can talk about that. But, so don't be a victim. Don't beat yourself up. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. You are loved. You are so loved. And you need to start showing yourself that love. Okay? So, Our parents create our fundamental belief system. Growing up, I don't ever remember my mother telling me that she loved me. Ever. I couldn't tell you the last time I hugged my mother. I couldn't tell you the last time we were even honestly nice to each other. It's pretty sad. But like I said, we're not creating victims here. But the thing is, like I said, my core wound is abandonment. And my mother was given up for adoption. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist or even somebody who knows about what I'm talking about to see the correlation between the two there. It's a little ironic that my mother, who was essentially abandoned and given up for adoption, passed on this traumatic core wound of abandonment to her firstborn child. And you want to know the truth? She didn't know. She wasn't aware enough to know. There was nobody in her life that was able to feed her truth and feed her growth and put her down the right path so that she could change the outcome she left for her children. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to open your mind so you can release these things, so you can change the outcome, not only for yourself, but for the generations that come after you. Because when you start to heal these core wounds inside your heart, you won't pass them along to your children, and they won't pass them along to their children, because I promise you, I don't know if my mother loved me. I honestly don't know if she ever did or if she ever will. But I promise you that she didn't intentionally set out to hurt me in the beginning. She didn't intentionally set out to make me feel abandoned at multiple points in my life. It was something so ingrained into her core wound that it constantly showed up in her life to self-sabotage her. I was just an unfortunate byproduct of that. You know, and it's terrible because there are so many times in my life, I have multiple pivotal times in my life where I was literally abandoned. I will talk about some of them, but not in great detail. I don't remember, first of all, I don't remember much of my childhood. I don't remember barely anything before the age of 5. I have very few memories. There's a lot of things that I've repressed. As I'm going through this course, I've been able to dig up some of those memories. Those are some of the things that I was able to work through last night with my mentor and my close friend. But I got a little bit off track there. But okay, so all these moments where I felt abandoned. So I don't have a lot of memories before I was 5. There's barely any, but I think that's a normal thing, I hope. I also really don't have very many memories of my parents before the age of 12, really. Before I came to 6th or 7th grade, we lived in a house in Old Bridge, and a lot of really bad things happened in that house. So I think that I kind of blocked out a lot of those things after we moved, and I'm trying to refresh them now. So the abandonment things that I'm talking about that I remember at this current time between me and my mother, I do know that growing up, my grandparents raised me a lot. My grandparents, my mother's adoptive parents, they took me away because my father was a drug addict at the time. My father was in and out of mental institutions in my elementary school years. He was abusive. I had witnessed a lot of spousal abuse. I had been subject to a lot of different types of abuse. So my grandparents, I was the only child for a while, and my grandparents would take me away a lot. They raised me for a good portion of time. So really, from the beginning of my childhood, it was pretty easy for my mom to hand me over to somebody else because she was busy working 3 jobs and she was busy keeping a roof over her head, and I will give her that. You know, I will give her those accolades because my father was a mess. I mean, my father would make good money and he would go out and put a lot of food into the house, but he also did a lot of drugs, and my mom had to be the one that made sure that we were always on time with everything. And I can't imagine looking back how stressful that must have been for her as well. So I grew up in this environment where I didn't really have that mother bond from the age of 1 to 5. I really didn't. I don't think that it was ever really there. And talking to relatives and talking to cousins and talking to people, it's really odd to hear that I was always with my dad. When there was only one child, I was always with my dad. I was always with my dad, who was a drunk and an addict, and I was at bars as a child, as an infant, because my mom was always working and they didn't have money to hire a babysitter. So there's a lot of things that really went into that. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Okay, I'll be in a few minutes, okay? Okay. You have to go inside, though, for this. You can't be on this live. Thank you. Sorry, I don't want Avery to overhear this. So as a child, that was already the relationship that we had. So I think it's pretty clear to see how the abandonment mood carried over. Then, as I got older, I have some very pivotal moments that I remember. I was 16 and I tried to commit suicide, and I came to my mom because I was scared, and it was just not a good scene. It was not a good scene. I had cut my wrist. I'm not ashamed to say that. Some people will sit there and call me out and say all these terrible things to me, and that's fine. You're not a good person. And you know who you are, because I know you're probably watching, and that's okay. But I did this, and I went to my mom for help, and she was sleeping, and she told me to get out of her face. Like, that was hard. That was really hard. After that, I was put in a hospital for some time, and my family didn't call me. My family didn't visit me. My family just forgot that I was there, I guess. I don't know. You know, other kids' parents would come on like the family visit days, and mine never were there. I mean, I was only there for like 2 weeks, but still, like 2 weeks is a really long time when you're that age. Like, it was not a good time for me, you know. And then after that, DYFS got involved. There's some time passed, and then DYFS got involved in our life, and I had actually went to my school because of the abuse that was going on with my dad, and I was like, I'm done. I need to talk to somebody, and somebody needs to step in and help. Like, somebody needs to come and help, because like, I just got out of the hospital for doing this, and like, I'm not okay, and I can't do this by myself. And I didn't have my mom to support me. You know, I didn't have anybody as a child to support me and to go to for safety or for help. I had no one. You know, my grandmother at that point, she had water on the brain, so she was not in my life anymore, and I literally had no one. So I went to the school because I didn't know who else to go to. And they called DYFS, and DYFS came to my house, and, you know, they told my mom, they said, okay, well, this is going on, so she can't be here. If he's here, either he has to leave, or we're going to have to take her and place her in some type of care. Well, needless to say, I spent my entire night sleeping on a couch in the DYFS worker's office until they can find somebody to take me in. And if they couldn't find somebody to take me in, then I was going to end up I almost ended up at the North Brunswick Youth Shelter. I used to go there with my church and volunteer. And it's no place that you want a child to end up. And those are just a few moments. I mean, I have more. I have so many more. Something happened when I was 21 or 20. And I didn't talk to my mom or my sisters for 5 years. I didn't talk to my mom until I was 7 months pregnant with Avery. I went through my entire pregnancy without my mom, you know? And that hurts. That hurts so much. And it's a wound that, like, I just brushed off for so long. I just brushed it off because, number one, it's really hard to, like, start dealing with that part of yourself. And number two, you're gonna have to admit some things you don't want to admit. Number three, eventually you have to come to a place of forgiveness. That's the goal. The goal is to dig down and excavate this freaking disgusting wound and release it and forgive the person who put it there. It's not your wound. It's not your story. It's not your belief. Whatever belief was put into your head from whatever scenario or situation. I mean, it's so crazy because the thing that brought these memories flooding vividly back to me was I was talking to my friend and I'm like, hey, do you remember that song that like parents used to sing to their kids from Barney? Like, I love you, you love me, like that stupid song. Like my dad sang it to me. Like, listen, my dad, as messed up as my dad was, and as messed up as the things that he did was, I don't doubt that my dad loved me. I don't. And we don't talk really at all. But I've been able to put up healthy boundaries, and I've been able to feel compassion for him, and I've been able to forgive him, even though a lot of the physical and mental abuse came from him. And even though I witnessed a lot from him throughout the years, I've been able to forgive him. So it like really messed me up, because for a long time I'm like, I forgave my dad. Like, he's the one who did the most bad things in my life. Like, why am I not healed? What the heck? I should be healed. And it was like a couple months ago, the universe literally said to me, hey, psst, it's your mom. It's your mom. And I was literally like, universe, we are not going down that road. No way. I ain't going down it. Because I knew deep down that is the wound that I needed to heal, and that it was going to take so much self-work. It was going to take so much strength for me to dig deep inside of me and pull that wound out and actually face it and say, hey, there you are. There you are. You're real, and I don't want you anymore. I don't want to be a victim of you. I don't want you to control me. I want you gone. I want you out of here. So it's so important to understand that these wounds that we carry are passed down. They're passed down from our parents, and they played them out in ways that they don't even know. But back to the I Love You song. Sorry, I got sidetracked. My mom taught me a song, and I want you, like, the song might just be like, maybe you knew the song, and maybe it was just a stupid, silly little song, like a stupid little nursery rhyme. But I want you to think of this song being sung and taught to a child who is dealing with these types of things on an emotional basis. It's the song that goes, everybody hates me, nobody likes me, guess I'll go eat worms. And like, there's a few more verses. But like, I thought about that song last night, and I had never thought about that song before. And I just started crying. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I'm like, shit, what is wrong with me? Like, God, what's going on? And then I started talking to my friend, and all these memories and all these feelings started coming up about my mom. And I'm like, wow, she projected her story of abandonment and her story of feeling unloved onto me so much. She just poured it on. And like I said, I don't think she intentionally did it. But either way, it shaped my belief system. It shaped how I felt about myself. It shaped how I saw myself. It shaped my behaviors in the outside world. And in doing so, it sabotaged every good thing that I've tried to achieve in my life. It's knocked me down from everything good that I've desired. And you can't do that. These are toxic and oppressive beliefs and ideals that have been just put in your head by somebody else, and they're not yours. They're not yours to accept. They're not your story, and you can let them go. At any point in time, you can decide that you don't want to be a victim anymore, and you can start to rewrite that story. You can do that. So what are some common wound traits? I know the main wound that I talked about tonight was abandonment, feeling unloved, feeling unworthy. There's an animal out here. We get raccoons that come. I have raccoons inside, but I get raccoons outside too. I just hope it's not one of them. So if you're not sure if you have a core wound, some of the common traits of people that have core wounds are codependency, having weak boundaries, people-pleasing, comparing and competing with others, low self-esteem and having no authentic voice, self-sabotage, depression, fear, anxiety, These are all common traits of people that are dealing with these core wounds inside their heart that haven't been addressed. So if you think that maybe some of these behavioral traits that you're struggling with, that you don't want to admit that you have, if you think that maybe they come from this place of deep hurt inside of you, then I'm telling you right now, you need to start looking into and addressing those core wounds that you have. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, it takes so much courage to heal. Healing your heart and your soul is one of the absolute bravest things you will ever do for yourself. And I truly believe that that's one of the reasons why so many people don't do it. It's so scary. It's so scary to admit that you have these things going on inside your heart that you've been struggling with and that you want to get rid of. You know, and I'll be honest, like, I did it on my own for a very long time, but it really wasn't until I was able to process these thoughts with somebody else that I was able to have the breakthroughs. We're not meant to go through this life alone. We're meant for human connection. We're meant to be inspired by others. Talk to someone you trust. Open your heart to someone and say, hey, I think I'm struggling with this. Can you help me learn more about it? Can you help me look into this? You have to really start to dig deep down and find that light within you that's buried underneath some of that darkness, so you can call it forth and shine it to other people in the world. Call it forth and shine it onto your children. Change their lives. Become a better you. Heal yourself so you can be a better person for your children, so you can be a better wife, a better mother, a better friend, a better whatever you are. We are all something to somebody. And when you start to heal yourself, you will bring that healing to everybody around you. I promise you. All right? You want to find that inner child. You want to find those points in your life, in your childhood, that really hurt you, that really resonate with you. And you want to connect with that child. And you want to show them love. Reconnect. Find your identity. I literally want you to find your identity, not the identity that your parents gave you, not the identity that society gave you, or your friends gave you, or your school gave you, or motherhood gave you. Let's be honest. Find your true identity. Search inside your soul and dig it out. Write down your truth. Start rewriting your story. You get to be whoever you want to be. You don't have to be who somebody says you are. You don't have to accept the wounds that somebody else wants to give you. I don't have to accept the life that my mom tried to portray on me. I don't have to accept this abandonment wound. I can understand and realize where it came from. I can release it and I can begin to forgive her for it. I still have to do that. I'm not going to sit on this video and lie to you and tell you I have it all figured out or that I'm perfect. I still have to forgive her. I have not forgiven my mother yet. I have not. And it holds me back every day. I'm just being honest. And I'll be honest, I don't care if she knows that I forgive her. I don't even care if she knows how bad she hurt me. I don't need her to. I don't need her validation. Learn that. Learn that when you're going through this process. You don't need validation from anybody. As you're healing, you are healing. That's all you need to be doing is healing. You don't need to look to anybody for validation. You don't need, look to your guides. Connect with your spirit guides. Get in that place of manifestation. Get in that sacred space with the universe and connect with it so that you can hear what it's saying. The universe has literally guided me every step of my journey. And it has never taken me past anything I wasn't willing to acknowledge. And that is huge. Looking back, I can realize that the universe brought me to so many places and I was not ready to acknowledge this pain. I was not ready to open that door. It was like opening Pandora's box to me. I was not going to do it. But now I did. I opened it. I've looked it straight in the face. I've called it out for what it is. I know where it came from. And I'm going to start to heal myself. So that not only can I walk through that door, but I'm going to close it, I'm going to nail it shut, and it is never going to be opened again. Never. I'm never opening that door. That's what forgiveness does for you. Forgiveness allows you to shut a door that once hurt you and never open it again. It is not about the other person. People would say that to me for years, and I never understood it until now. I never got it until I started really healing the things that hurt my heart, because I understood what forgiveness really, really meant deep down. So what are some things that you can do to reconnect, to rewrite your story? First of all, personal growth. I preach it. I would preach it from the hills with a megaphone if I could. You have to be involved in personal growth. You need to have a mentor that is interested in helping you to grow your mind, not just your wallet. That's something I'm going to tell so many of you network marketers out there. I see so many people that are with companies or with mentors that are only interested in your financial growth. Get yourself a mentor that cares about your soul. Get yourself a mentor like Jenna is to me, and she will talk to me at midnight. She is like 8 months pregnant, waddling around her house, CEO of a company, millionaire. But she will take the time to listen to what's hurting my heart. She'll give me the steps. She'll tell me what I can do. She will pour into me life and inspiration, and she will share with me her story. Not her story of victimhood, her story of strength. So I can create my own story of strength to share with others. Get yourself a mentor who will pull you out of the trenches and help you rise up, whether you're creating them money or not. Straight up. Some of you need to hear that. All right, so besides that, meditating. I love meditating. I couldn't meditate, I'll be honest with you. I had a really hard time meditating until I started taking my CBD oil. That really helped me to calm my mind and focus and get into that space so I can create a ritual with myself, so I can create this sacred space to be one with the universe. So get yourself a space, get yourself a ritual, get yourself something that will help you get into that sacred space of meditation with the universe, so you can hear what it's calling forth for you, so you can know every step of the way that you are protected by the universe during your healing. Let me tell you, it's such, besides having a good mentor, and besides having a close group of friends that you can rely on for support during your journey, it's really amazing when you know that you're fully supported by the universe. It's really amazing when you know that every step of your healing, the universe is literally leading you down this path. So get yourself into that space. Meditate on a daily basis. Do hypnotherapy. You can, listen, I have 2 that I really love. If you want some meditations, I can send you a couple free guided meditations, and just drop your links below. I have one that I really love. It's just an overall meditation. I have one for cutting the cord, and I have a manifesting meditation. So let me know which one you want, and I will send you them. They're also all available for free in my manifesting group. So if you're in there, just go to the freebie section, and you'll find those recordings in there for you. And something else that I'm really excited, this is what I'm personally doing, and it might seem really crazy to you guys, but I am writing letters to myself. So hold on, I'm gonna have to light some of my sage because the bugs are coming around. Little natural tip, bugs, sage will keep them away. So this whole time that I've been doing this video, my sage has been burning, it just went out, but the sage keeps the bugs away. It's really amazing, and it doesn't have any of that nasty bug repellent crap in it. I also use I just put this on, it's a citronella essential oil. We do not carry this essential oil yet. Hint, hint, Jenna. My daughter and I need this. So we get it, I actually get it mailed to me from a monthly subscription box that I'm in, and I love it. It's called the Zen Me Gifts, if anybody wants to check it out. I absolutely love it. I get no promotion from them as well. I'm sweating, it's so hot out here still. So I'm writing letters to myself. So all of those moments that I talked about to you guys, those moments that I remember, key moments of abandonment, I'm gonna sit down when I have time to think. And listen, don't rush yourself either. Like I had this revelation last night, and I was like, I'm gonna get up in the morning, I'm gonna write these letters, I'm gonna do my ritual, I'm gonna be so powerful. I'm gonna be so powerful. And then you know what happened? The baby raccoons realized how to get out of their enclosure. So I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning to the babies like wreaking havoc, and the day just went like that for the rest of the day. So yeah, don't rush yourself. Like I said, don't ever feel bad about anything. Like, you are here to grow, and as long as you're growing, you're doing your part, so be proud of that. So when I have some time and I'm alone, I'm gonna write letters to myself. As a child first, I'm gonna write the letter as a child, saying how I felt, saying how these traumatic events made me feel and how they affected me. And I'm gonna write these letters and I'm gonna cry, and it's gonna be so freeing and so releasing. I already know that. Like, I'm actually excited to write these letters and to bawl my eyes out, because I know it's gonna be such a freeing experience for me. And then I'm gonna give myself some space. And when I'm in that space again, when I have the time to get into that space, I'm gonna write letters back to myself. I'm gonna write letters back to that little girl who's hurting. And I'm gonna let her know that it wasn't her fault, the things that happened to her. It wasn't her fault, the things that she was told or the things that she was taught, that she is loved, that she is beautiful. And I am gonna pour so much love onto my inner child. And I know that that is gonna be such a freeing experience. So there are exercises you can do to facilitate this growth within yourself. There are exercises you can do to release these things that are hurting you. Start doing them. Start doing them. Don't let the fear keep you from growing. Don't let the fear keep you stuck exactly where you are. If you look at your life, I can guarantee you there are patterns that you see. There are patterns that you see that show up in your life. It's up to you to decide to change and break those patterns. And I also want to tell you a mistake that I made for a really long time. I thought that if I was focused on my healing, I couldn't be focused on anything else. I couldn't be focused on growing my business. And that was so silly. It was so silly. And it's so funny because I literally had 2 friends within 24 hours of each other tell me the same exact thing. They said, Brianne, you can do it both. You can do both. You can do both. And you can. You can heal and grow your life in another area at the same time. And I'm going to share a secret with you. Once you get in alignment with your healing, the universe is going to see you doing that. And it's going to go, hey girl, I see you. I've been waiting for this. I'm going to bring you something that you want. I'm going to bring you some good things because you are growing, my friend. The universe wants us to grow. It doesn't want us to stay stuck. It doesn't want us to be these stagnant beings that walk around the planet miserable. It wants you to find your purpose. It wants you to find that light within you and shine it so bright that you're affecting and changing the entire world around you. That's what the universe wants. It doesn't want you to be miserable. That's absolutely ridiculous if you think that. Like, and some people really think that. Some people really think that, like, they have bad luck, or like the universe wants this, or the universe is punishing them. Absolutely not. Like, let's get real here. Let's get real. The universe literally wants to give you everything that you want. It's just waiting for you to step up and do the things that it's asking you to do. So once you start healing yourself, the universe is going to start giving you the things that you desire. I'm going to tell you, I started this virtual event course, and literally I had to stop. I couldn't even get through the first day. And I wasn't even working my business that morning. I didn't even work my business. But I had to stop doing this course because I had 4 people enroll in my business that morning. And I had to talk to them about joining my company and training and getting them started on the right path. Because I got my butt, I almost said a curse, I got myself on the right path. I got my mind and my heart and my soul finally connected. They finally got in alignment, and they finally started moving in the direction that I needed to go for growth. Like, I've healed so much inside myself over the last year, but I've been avoiding this one core wound. And finally, the universe was like, no, I'm not going to allow you to move any farther until you address this. You need to address this Because you need to get out there and you need to share your truth and you need to share your voice and you need to get your book written and you need to do what you need to do because you're going to change so many people's lives. So stop messing around, get your crap together and address this wound. And finally, I got it. It finally clicked in my head. And I was like, oh, wow, this changes everything. This just changed the entire outcome of my future. Because I'm allowed to let go. I'm allowed to not feel abandoned anymore. I'm allowed to stop feeling unloved. I'm allowed to stop feeling unworthy. I am allowed to take that power back. Like, take your power back. Get out there, dig deep, get out the garbage, and take your power back so you can spread your magic with the entire world. There are so many people out there who need your magic. You have a purpose, and your purpose, in some way or another, is meant to help humanity. Seriously, for real. We are universal beings. We are created from stardust. We are made of the same things the universe is made out of. Get out there and act like you're freaking a part of the universe. Get out there and find your magic. Somebody out there needs to know your story. Somebody out there is going to need to know how you did it. So get it done. Stop making people wait. Somebody needs you. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe your kids need a better you. I don't know. Go heal yourself, please. Let me know how it goes. I love a success story. And I love you guys. Thank you so much to those that are on here. I still see that so many of you are on here. I turn the comments off because I get so distracted. But I love you guys, and I hope that this helps someone. And if this helped you, I'm going to be doing, I really haven't gone live in a long time, and you guys are going to start seeing a lot more of me because I'm going to be doing a Think and Grow Rich mini series in my manifesting group in August, and I'm planning on doing about 3 to 4 short videos a week. So if you guys enjoyed this, there's a lot more to come. My hair is a mess, the humid is crazy, but I didn't get bug bites. Hey for sage and essential oils, right? Bye guys, love you.